Hi. Welcome to Dusty
in the Wind tapes.
Dusty Tapes in the Basement. Yes, we got it right.
I'm trying to get nice shirts because he's always got these amazing shirts, but I'm going with a little men thing, and this will make sense.
Gingerbread men.
Yeah.
And
Gingerbread tree.
and Christmas tree and holly. Wow, that's awesome.
This will relate in a minute.
Will it?
It'll all make sense. I planned this perfectly.
So, Alan, what is Dusty Tapes?
It is a chance for people like us and you, if you make movies, to share and show your old dusty tapes that you made way back when you're like, oh, remember when I knew nothing and yet I managed to shoot a movie?
I still know nothing?
Yeah. But this nothing, it was amazing that anything got done because I had no clue what I was doing. Well, maybe you had a clue. But anyway, it's way back when. And how do people, if they want to share their tapes, do it?
Well, you have to own the rights to the film. It has to be less than 30 minutes long, more than 5 years old. That way it's not on the festival circuit. Send a link of your digital film to the email below. No porn. Yeah, so let's get to our first film. This one is called Saying Goodbye. It was shot in 2004. It was written by me, directed by me. The main actress was Astrid Strader and the cousin of him. Because it's been so long, the original character is no longer with us. But we have him. And he's spent a little bit too much time in the sun, so he's kind of bleached. I'll put it your way now. So, any questions before we get to the film?
You got the year, you got the title.
Yep. Got the actors?
Got the actors. I think we're good. Let's watch.
Okay, let's watch it.
Sorry for the mess. I wasn't expecting visitors this weekend. I guess I should introduce myself. I'm Julie. And you are? I see. Strong silent type, eh? Hi, Mom. Color display. That's how. Yep, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm still planning to go ahead with it. No, I don't need you to come down. Why? I guess to process, I suppose. I don't feel like hanging around friends right now, Mom. How many? A couple glasses? I'm a big girl now, you know. Yeah, look. Hey, how are you? No, I'd just rather not talk about it. Yep, if I need anything at all, I will. Love you too. Bye. 36 years old. She can still push my buttons. Seriously, do mothers go to tactical manipulation hideouts to learn this kind of crap? Or is it a hormonal surge? Or does it just come naturally? Big help you are. There was just something about him, I suppose. As unoriginal as that sounds. He had a smile that just went right through me. He knew it too. Used it every time he got himself into trouble. Made me just melt. Brains? Wasn't brains I was interested in now, was it? Don't get me wrong, he read. Definitely not a rocket scientist. Wasn't even my type, really. We bumped into each other at a friend's party. He was wearing his motorcycle jacket and trying to look so cool. At least, that's how I pegged him. Kept hitting on me all night. I wouldn't give him the time of day. A week later, we ran into each other on the street. And he's carrying this really huge bouquet of flowers. I mean, an expensive arrangement. I didn't even know who he was at first. But he came right up to me, handed me the flowers, and started talking about how he meant to get my number. How he was glad he tracked me down. I gotta tell you, the idea of some guy from a party tracking me down? But I gave him my number, and that's what started everything. It was only after we hooked up that I realized those flowers were meant for somebody else. That he was really a delivery guy working at some florist. And he was just doing a coworker a favor by dropping them off to an address that was in his part of town. Dumb luck. Dumb luck. Our first date was a disaster. We were both so nervous. He was arranging the coasters, lining the edge up with the table. I was playing with my hair. I hate girls that play with their hair. All the disasters of trying to make a good first impression. Like, I noticed when we were kissing, I kept opening up my eyes and looking. It wasn't like I was staring or anything. So really, I was just peeking to see if he was still kissing me. Or just feeling the impression of his lips on mine. You know, the first time we made love, there was no love involved. Nope, it was pure unadulterated sex. We'd spent the night dancing our asses off, and okay, we were a bit drunk. And then when he drove me home, we got into some kissing and touching, and before you knew it, there was a trail of clothes right from the door to the bed. You know, that's when I discovered this annoying habit he had. Sometimes in his sleep, he would just start laughing for no apparent reason. I mean, he'd be dead asleep and then just start laughing his ass off. I'd wake up and ask him, what the hell is so funny? Of course he wouldn't answer. He was asleep. One shouldn't just go on laughing without sharing the joke, don't you think? You know, he proposed to me on this trip. He had a way of picking the strangest times to be romantic. He was acting weird all day and waited till we were skinny dipping at night. All of a sudden, he's on the dock, and in his hand is a ring. And he says, "So, you want to make it legal?" I just stared at him. I guess he was getting a little nervous I was taking so long to answer. So he grabbed my clothes and said if I didn't say yes, he was going to leave with my clothes. I was stunned. I mean, it was either walking 15 minutes back to the campsite naked or say yes. I said yes, of course. I didn't want to get eaten alive by mosquitoes. You know, it's funny the things we collect. With Mark, it was books. Sure, he read a few of them, but he mostly just bought them to make himself look intellectual. He was like that on our honeymoon. We stayed at this B&B on the lake. It was really beautiful there. Well, one evening, this poor guy wanted to take his bride windsurfing. Mark gets into a pissing match over proper windsurfing techniques. He read it in a book, and suddenly, he's the expert. The couple ended up going horseback riding instead. Mark could be so pig-headed sometimes. But I loved him. Say, you wouldn't want a book, would you? Didn't think so. Oh. Looks delicious, doesn't it? I used to hate making dinner. I'm more of a takeout gal myself. But Mark, he had this thing about his food. On his plate, the peas couldn't be touching the potatoes, and the meat had to be separate from the corn. It was getting to be such a big deal we couldn't go out anymore. Sometimes when we'd have a fight, he'd later bat those big green eyes at me. take my hand, say sorry, put on some berry white, and then we'd dance. Why does it take a fight to get a guy to be romantic? Hey, you know, we had a great wedding. Your typical white wedding. Mom was so proud. You know, it's funny. The one day that should be for us ended up being for everybody else. Mark, he wanted to go to Las Vegas and have an Elvis thing. What's with Elvis? I'll never understand that. I wanted a wedding in a glen, outside, you know, surrounded by beautiful trees. In the end, we compromised. We had a church wedding. It's what Mother wanted, of course. You know, he used to hate Mr. Quackers. How could anybody possibly hate a rubber ducky? Come on, isn't he cute? He used to say I was so immature and that I should grow up. This coming from a total child himself. He asked me once if I wanted children. I said, I already had one, thanks. And I didn't need to change his diapers yet. They say that smell is the most powerful memory. It's hard putting all these things away. I should have done it months ago. That's what everybody keeps telling me. Only it isn't so simple, is it? You live for years with a person. And all their stuff becomes your stuff. It's impossible to define between the two. Sometimes I envy those couples who date for a long time and just never move in together. Then again, how can you live by yourself? I mean, nobody to share a joke with? Or snuggle up on the couch, watch a movie, or tell them you love them when you need to? Must be hard when the couples break up. Knowing that the other is out there sharing their life with somebody else, and you're just this forgotten memory lost in so many memories. Only it's worse when you're the one left behind. Picking up the memories, one shirt at a time, with no one to say, hey, remember when? I don't know where my manners are. Mark, this is... Hey, you never told me what your name was. I know. George. George, meet Mark. Mark, this is George. Hey, you two are the same height. He used to be a bit taller before his accident. I think you two have a few other things in common. He's not speaking either. You know, he always did things and just told me about them afterwards. Like a little kid. Always reckless. We had this huge fight. He'd always bring it up. I got the jacket, but not the bike, he'd always say. He came home and announced he'd just bought himself a motorcycle. Not a second-hand one, which we could afford. No, a new top-of-the-line bike. I was so angry at him. We're struggling as it is, I said. He said I never understood him. And he walked out, slamming the door behind him. A few hours later, the police arrived. They said Mark wrapped himself around a tree. I guess the books never said what to do in slippery conditions. Mark, I love you, but it is time to let you go. I have to let you go. So guys, what do you think? Is it appropriate? Good. Shall we go? For our anniversary, Mark surprised me by renting a small plane. We flew over the city and over the countryside. When we landed, he took me to a beautiful resort. We had this exquisite meal in a private dining room. It was the most special thing he had ever done. It's funny. I thought all I needed was time alone to process things. But then I saw you. I started talking to you, and I guess what I really needed was someone to listen without judgment and opinion. Thanks. Thanks a lot.
Good luck to you.
You have notes?
I have notes.
All right.
Okay. I see that there was an opening thing for Shadowyn.
Yes.
That's your production company?
Yes, it is.
To this day?
To this day.
Now, the other movies that we saw, were they Shadowyn at the time, or were they just a thing you did?
They were Shadowyn at the time. Yes. Yes, they were. Yes.
So you see the word, but it didn't have the fancy...
The dragon and stuff like that. Yeah, I actually removed that later on in the thing because it was an old CG when I first started working with CG. So
it was now... So you've had Shadowyn for a while.
Since 1996?
Oh, forever. That's old enough to vote.
Yeah,
Rent
and
a
more
car.
so.
and there's so much that can be done with this. So you've always had... What I'd like to know is when you guys submitted, did you change names? I had a different production name depending on if I was working with somebody else.
Actually, sometimes I would, but these particular ones were done by me without any outside help, so
Now,
that's why it's Shadowyn.
there is the actress.
Yes,
Astrid. Astrid. Lovely girl.
absolutely amazing.
I always want to know where people are now. So this is 21 years later. Are you still in touch?
No, the last time, it's funny because Astrid had never done any acting before. I basically found her in a yoga studio and said, oh, you'd be perfect for this film. And she goes, it's not a porno, is it? And I said, no, this is the actual thing. So I sent her the script and everything else. And she came and saw it and went, oh, I'm going through divorce at the moment. And this is a great lethargic,
right?
experience to get out of the blues that she was feeling of going through the divorce. I actually had written this film because my first wife had died. And so this was almost a lethargic experience for myself of writing something as an ode to her, in which her name is actually in the credits, if you paid attention. Like
I did. That's why I have notes.
Right. And where is she now? She's somewhere in Toronto, I think, married. I don't know if she has children or not. But yeah, I haven't seen her for almost 15 years.
Now, I would say it's a monologue.
Yes, it is a monologue.
How did she remember all the lines? Because there's a lot of lines before.
No clue. We shot it in sections, so she would easily remember. But there was this one scene, the one with the leather jacket, took 14 shots to get that scene because she kept on flubbing up a little section in it, and she's going, is it this or is it this? And it kept on going and going and going and going until she needed to actually step away for a few minutes, come back, and then she nailed it.
So she was dedicated to getting it.
That's right. And a little bit drunk by the end of the filming.
So you said how you cast her.
Yes.
You've made many shorts and things like that. What was your process for casting, and has it changed? Is it the same process? Like you just walk down the street like, hey kid, I'm going to make you a star. Like, how do you?
Well, you can't really do that anymore because people start talking and start getting restraining orders and stuff like this. But most of the casting that I've done is through, I get to see somebody and they go, that person would be great. And I read a story basically based on that person's personality. And that's what gets them into the film.
Now, do you ever have casting calls? Like, if there ever auditions or?
I did one casting call that I did with a friend of mine. The movie was called Gabrielle. It was actually my very first film I ever done. And I was casting directing with a friend of mine. And because he had a voice of who played certain parts in the thing, it wasn't exactly my choice of characters, but it worked out, but it was just not how I envisioned the original story going.
So I was going to ask what happened to the gnome, but you said that before.
Yes.
So it was. Now you're in this movie.
Yes, I am. Yes.
Now it's sort of like a Hitchcock thing. Do you try to Hitchcock yourself into most of your movies?
No, it was a time restraint of trying to find somebody who just had a moment to come in, drop off the garden gnome. And it was shot last second, and it was like, okay, fine, I'll do it. Grumpy old man. There.
Now, you do act. I've seen you act in things.
Yes, I do act.
You killed Marilyn Monroe.
Yes, I did. But it wasn't me, it was an accident. Honestly.
Do you prefer acting or do you prefer behind the camera?
Oh, I really prefer behind the camera. I don't consider myself an actor. There are some things that I don't mind doing, but usually I really prefer running stuff behind the scenes.
You messages. You had pictures. And the neat thing is, he put them in afterwards. I didn't get to see them until I watched the video, like you guys. And do you always take pictures? Like, I think pictures are cool. I noticed in the credits you had somebody that was supposed to be taking pictures.
That's right. There are quite a few pictures. I usually like to have somebody behind the scenes taking pictures and all this because it's also promotional material that you can put in posters and stuff like this. Or some people like to have a video gallery of, if they're putting on a DVD or something like this, of saying, oh, these are behind the scenes pictures. It makes the DVD longer.
Added features.
So
if you send videos, send pictures, because I found that really cool. There was a really
yes.
nice one with messages where the girl is reading or something. Like, it's a little
Yes.
black and white. I thought that was a really nice picture. Like, just as its own, but it was kind of neat because it was with the thing. Let me check my notes. How did the... So you kind of said how the script came about.
Yes.
Was that it? Was there other things? Like, were you in the shower going, how can I do this? Like, where...
Well, my favorite scene in the whole film was the rubber duck scene, because how she portrayed that was absolutely wonderful. Of, who doesn't like a rubber ducky? And she laughed so many times when she did that scene. As for doing little vignettes, because it was a monologue, I had to write it in such a way that each scene was actually saying something that pushed the story along. No scene could be just there, just as fluff. So it was a really breakdown of what I wanted to say in the whole end. And actually, the garden gnome actually appears in another film. You notice at the end of the credits, there's two women who come across the garden gnome. Well, the younger woman of that was in another short film in which she actually had that on a shelf in the background as she opens up the door, which I thought was a really humorous thing of going, she's using this garden gnome to continue on the story.
So there could have been a series?
Oh yes, there could have been a series, because the great thing about garden gnomes is you can place them anywhere. I actually had thought of doing a film called Unexpected Guest, in which there was a war going on between garden gnomes and other lawn ornaments creatures like, the pig, the frog, the things. And this daughter comes home, notices that her mother's acting really strangely because she's on the side of the garden gnomes trying to orchestrate this battle that she's having with the other garden gnomes, who keeps on, not garden gnomes, lawn ornaments that come in and try to invade the garden gnome space.
I have a friend that would, I don't know if they'd side with the gnomes, but they would not like the frogs. She cannot stand frogs. Toy frogs, pictures of frogs.
But they're so cute.
She hates frogs.
And they croak.
And it's fun. I've known two women that are terrified of frogs.
How are they with spiders?
I don't think they have a problem. But frogs, not like, even I had a little picture of a frog as a joke, and she's like, nothing to do with frogs. No representation of frogs. None whatsoever. No,
that's very sad. Kermit must be very disappointed.
I did not ask. Actually, I know the one like Kermit when he goes, ah! Cast, change of the year.
In a partridge in a pear tree.
Oh, so you directed and you had a assistant director.
Yes.
Small production. What does an assistant director do in this small production?
Well, especially during the part where I was actually acting in it, I needed someone to run the camera and to make sure I was doing the timing and everything correctly of placing this garden gnome at a particular spot without me needing to go and check the camera and everything else. So she was directing me, going, okay, make it a little bit slower. Need to be over here a bit more and stuff like this. So it was a great help. And she was kind of looking over my shoulder as well when I was doing the production.
Looking over your shoulder.
Yeah, I got that. Very creepy. That I had somebody also looking out, because it was monologue, of catching something that's kind of out of place, or that's, that line was really good, because when I'm running the camera, I'm mainly focused on what the camera's seeing, not necessarily what the acting is. There's a cat running around here, so if you hear sounds and something comes flying into the thing, it's the cat. It's not a raccoon. It's not a rat. It's a cat.
Well, it's my brothers always help me with my production, and they're a lot younger than I am, and they've gotten into, the one is a graphic designer, but they use their video skills and stuff from then. Actually, I want to show one of my brother's movies. I want to submit one,
right?
And
please do.
It will
send it to the email address below, or you can just pass it to me the next time you see me.
Yeah. Here's a USB key. I can't remember what it is. If I do, we'll turn it back on and you can cut it in. But I want to know, like when you said the duck scene. Right. I want to know about that, because you said the one scene she had to say again and again and again. Because it does. A friend of ours, Morgan's aunt.
Right.
The aunt's not the friend. Morgan's the friend. His aunt just feels, well, if the movie's 90 minutes long, that's how long it took you to shoot it. You just basically walked around with the camera,
right, and
did it. She does not understand the editing process.
Right.
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. If you've been making films as long as you have, and you want to know how to make a small fortune in film, you start with a large fortune.
Oh. And
you just go from there. Because it's that's another thing, is if you got budget tips or how you manage to do something, because like I said, in the message you had 8 tables.
Yes.
Where do you get 8 tables? He made them, but I would not be making 8 tables. I would be, hey Kendrick, can I borrow those 8 tables? And you said how many have survived?
As far as I know, there's 2 that survived because they're in my possession. The rest went to actors that were part of the film. So
were they sturdy? Like, could you step on them? Like, were they?
I wouldn't say you could step on them, but you can put plants on them and use them actually as a side table.
Now, I know what the question was. Now, you told the motivation for the script. What made you? I'm gonna make a lawn gnome. Not make a lawn gnome. I'm gonna use the lawn gnome. Like what? How did you cast the lawn gnome? Yoga studio and
actually, I came across 6 garden gnomes, and I picked them all up, and basically.
Were you just walking along? Like...
No. I bought them.
Okay. Who threw away these lawn gnomes? Meanwhile, honey, someone stole our lawn gnomes.
I'm not that kind of person. Oh my God.
My lawyer told me to say I bought them.
I did bite them, honestly. Bought them, not bite them.
So you bought these 6 lawn gnomes?
Yes, and I basically sat down and looked at them, and I narrowed it down to 3, and then Astrid came along and went, which one works for you? And we ended up picking up one that was looking like he was actually paying attention. And that
so
was
there was an audition process for the gnomes.
Yes, there was.
And Astrid, she got a choice. Like
yes.
Which one do you like? You're like, well, that one's fat, and I don't like this one. And
exactly. This one I can relate to, and this one, he's holding the lantern. Oh my God! What is he trying to say? Follow the light. Like really.
It's amazing. If you have stories like that, like just a prop or something, and what you're doing with it, I'd love to know. I was in a play called Looking. Was it Looking? You videotaped the dress rehearsal. Oh. I think it's called Looking. Let's say it's Looking. And I got the director gave me a poster because there's this big, ridiculously large poster. And I said, oh, can I have that? I got a place for it. He goes, good, because nobody else does. And he said the arguments they had about this poster, because in the O's of Looking, he had eyeballs. Looking to the side type thing.
Right.
And someone was like, oh, we don't want eyeballs. We don't want... And I didn't realize any of the details until he went into it, which really sucks. So if you want, because you put all this work into it and nobody knows, like, oh, you got to know. But now you're telling me this big, long story. So if you're using a prop and there was an argument like, well, I wanted to wear a blue shirt and she wanted to wear a green shirt. And it took us a week to argue about this and get this shirt done. So include those stories because now they can come to light. Because I love the passion of just like, it was insane.
Ended up going with yellow.
But it's, this is what is me. As a filmmaker, I want to hear your pain or your fun or sort of like, yeah, we were shooting and then the power went out and we had no lights. So then we went and got some flashlights or drove the car to the window and used the headlights. Like, I want to know. I don't care what he wants, but I want to know.
I want to know that too.
Send your support and money to We Want to Know. So that's about it. That's the thing. It was fun. It was. It's interesting to now. When was the message shot?
2003.
So a year later,
we shot this one.
And it's. Oh, you know what I want to know?
A new house.
I want to know how you pick your locations. We have some videos we've done that are at our friend Laszlo's house.
Right.
There's a horror movie. There's a comedy movie. There's his movie. All at his place. So if we start showing these movies in sequential order, you'll like, yeah, this is Laszlo's living room. Yeah, this is Laszlo's. If you like the cabinets in this movie,
yeah, it was my house. We redid the whole house and went, oh well, let's shoot here instead of finding another location too.
I have a question.
Okay.
When you finish the movie, you have, if you read the credits, I think there was 8 or 10 people.
Yeah.
What do you do for your showing? Where do you show it? What do you like? Hey, everybody come to my house and you provide popcorn?
Well, exactly. That's what we did. And each one got a copy of the film. It went out to festival, but didn't get any bites. So,
But now he's showing it now, so you get to see it.
That's right.
So I recently I'm packing up in my basement, and I came across a spool of backup movies I made, like the files. And I had to find a computer that had a DVD that I could rip them all off of. Right. So I'm hoping that I will be giving you some movies soon because I had to digitize them.
That's great.
If you're wondering what program to use, there's a program called Handbrake. It'll rip DVDs nicely. And because some of them were shot in VHS, high 8. mini
Mini DV.
DV. So it's if you get a chance. Oh, what was this shot on?
This was shot on Mini DV.
Remember to tell us what you made it on. I am looking for the VHS one. That's the one I want to debut because that is old. That is
Really old.
87 or something like that. So
Wonderful.
it was. That's. I think it's got the year on it. I might have to change the music because it has red wine, and I didn't know anything about copyright and stuff, and there wasn't a really big deal about it. But now you can't. We do live weddings sometimes, not our own, like.
No.
But if they have us do the reception, a lot of times YouTube will just cut the feed off because it's like, this music sucks. So we have to hit mute and then put like crappy royalty-free music in, which really doesn't work when they're doing this. It's like dum da 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 dum da da da. So
No, that's probably copyrighted. I'm sorry.
don't demonetize us. We're making millions as it is, and we can't afford to lose those millions. So I'm looking forward to see what else you have. This video I'd never seen before. So it's actually none of the videos so far. The message,
The neighbor.
the neighbor, I had not seen before. This I had not seen before. I think there are some that I have seen before, which will be interesting to make comments on. But that's it for this one.
Yes, it is.
All right.
We'll see you next time.